Iamar prestareien. Han motho nenem. Han motho nefkes. Ahan noston nekulef.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Garblack Games with the next episode of The One Ring, the Heir of Elendil. Yeah, episode 2. Unfortunately, Jim couldn't be with us this evening as he's off merrymaking. But the rest of the fabulous cast is here, so I'll let them introduce themselves, starting with whoever is top left in the screen.
Oh, is that me? Hello, I'm me. I'm Ben. And I've been getting my accent ready. I'm going to be playing, got to get this right because I always get her name the wrong way round. Sigrun, daughter of Sigrid, not the other way round. And she is a stout-hearted barding princess, warden, granddaughter of Bard the Dragon Slayer. And my fellowship focus is to Vidar Tome Finder, because he's clever and funny. And he kills less wargs than me.
There you go. Dan, tell us about yourself and your character.
Hello, I'm Dan, and tonight I'll be playing Ithildir, who speaks with a soft voice because they are an elf. I'm a high elf of Rivendell and a captain.
Hanging about with this bunch of vagabonds and brigands
who have already caused great disgrace to themselves by allowing the looting of a body of elven origin.
I feel like I should throw some misdeed shadow points at them for that. But
sorry, friend, that was you. We all told him not to.
Pete, how's Vidar doing?
Let me turn my microphone on, that might help. I'm Pete, and I'm playing Vidar Tome Finder. Got to get it right down there in the bowels. Vidar is having lots of fun. He's a very esteemed scholar of Durin's folk, I'll have you know, not some vagabond. He's got some of the finest rubbings in all of Dwarflands. I'll show you the first chance I get.
So Vidar, fine scholar of Durin's folk, runs around the world rubbing off.
Aye.
Statues, rubbing off statues.
Oh, yeah.
Statues. Yes, statues. And finally, Roger.
Hi, I'm Roger, and I'm playing Robin Burrows, who doesn't know nothing about being no vagabond. All he's here for is to try and keep people's spirits up with some nice, tasty chips. And he is a hobbit treasure hunter.
And what's the treasure he's hunting?
Potatoes.
The sole owner of the tater locator. clearly one of the more powerful rings of power.
Well, it's only a magic ring. You can take it nice and lightly.
Yeah. So yeah, last time the Fellowship went through a Fellowship phase set in the intervening year and a half between their previous adventure and being called back to Rivendell. They traveled far and wide, but not too far and probably not too wide, to uncover various rumors of dark tidings spreading across Eriador. Finally, when they came together at last to travel to Rivendell, they first decided to do a little tour of the Weather Hills and see what was happening out towards the plains of Rudar. And there they spotted black riders and orcs traveling to the northwestish, heading kind of across the plains from the distance towards the North Downs. And they also uncovered 2 long dead elves and all of the items they were carrying, which Will Hoss decided should probably belong to him. At least partially, as he became enamored, almost compelled to pick up one of their swords.
What, did they look precious to him?
Probably.
They were shiny though, weren't they? They were old,
yeah,
but still shiny.
Old,
so it's like
still shiny.
And there was a nearby statue I did a rubbing of.
Yep.
And it had graffiti on it, didn't it? Had graffiti on it, didn't it?
Yeah, it had sort of black speech scrawling across it as well, defacing the ancient words of Numenorian that were scribed on there in the first place. Then the group travelled back to Rivendell, not to Rivendell, to Bree, to decide what they were going to do with these bodies, where they were stopped outside the gate by Nob, Butterbur's assistant, a little hobbit of Bree, who came running out and handed them a very urgent message that had arrived from Rivendell for them, asking them to cast all other adventures or things they had going on aside and travel with all due haste to Rivendell itself. And that's where we find ourselves now, as you're about to set off on your little mini journey to Rivendell, which will keep fairly brief, but still run through a little bit. So, who is going to be taking the role of guide on the way to Rivendell?
What did you need for guide?
Travel.
I think that'd be me, won't it?
Then not me.
I will guide.
I
I'll
think we've got
guide us.
Elendil down as lookout still.
There's a road that leads straight there, so I think I know which way to go.
Almost like you could follow the Great East Road.
Aye.
But is it safe? It's definitely
secret?
not secret. It's a big old road. So yeah, is your plan just to straight bomb it down the Great East Road ahead to Inladris?
We've got stuff we should drop off there anyway, haven't we?
Okay then.
What do you think, Sigrun? Should we head straight down the road? We do carry a burden with us as well that could do with getting there swiftly.
The invitation does say to make all due haste, and a summons from the like of Lord Elrond of Rivendell is not one that one should treat lightly. So yes, should very much make all due haste. If that means taking the road, we take the road.
Aye. There were a few books I didn't get a chance to read when we were there, so maybe I could have a little leaf through those while we're there too.
Well, I better pop out and get some supplies.
Excellent suggestion, sir.
Aye, Mr. Burrows.
Is there anything particular you want to do in Bree before you set off then? Other than gather supplies.
I've far
which I'll
more
sort of
food
let
than
you-
I think would be necessary.
Yeah, just bags and bags of potatoes.
Potatoes and dried meats and other.
Like I've got
things.
a pony just for his potatoes.
And, blocks of fat that I can melt down.
It's not really a place where one would get armed and armored, is it? Because it's like little. It's Bree.
No, it's a town.
It's full of guys
it's
chewing
probably
carrots.
one of the largest remaining proper settlements east of Linden in Eriador, but still, yeah, it's basically a little town.
Yeah. No.
With a big heart.
Yep. Otterberg gladly obliges Robin.
Oh, how many years
Burrows.
passed? Sorry, didn't you say some years had passed? Because I have not aged my
it
character.
is now the year 3004 of the third age, so
And
about a
before it
year and a
was-
half. It was
Okay.
3002, but sort of late 3002ish.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to make much of a difference to my character's age.
Well, maybe not to you it doesn't, but I'm going to be a spinster at this rate.
2001. Oh no, now I'm feeling weary and shall travel west.
That was it. 2001. I'm done.
Yeah, that was just that last year was just too much.
Suddenly it becomes Elrond's run.
So good.
Yeah. So yeah, if there's nothing else to do in Bree, you set off out of the gate and head down the broken cobblestones of the Great Eastern Road, which is probably looking even more disheveled than the last time you traveled down it. Almost as if that last year and a half has further worn into its foundations.
I fear that we should probably suggest to the good folk of Bree and to Lord Elrond that perhaps some work be done on this road, because otherwise the Eastlands will be completely cut off.
The problem with the roads was in the days of old, it was the kings of Arnor and after them of Arthedain that saw to the maintenance of the roads, but those days have long gone. Hence why the north-south road has been renamed the Greenway, as it's become more and more overgrown. The Great East Road has the advantage of still being fairly regularly travelled by groups of elves and dwarves and people travelling down from Dale to Bree or vice versa. But other than that, it's not really maintained. Anyway, Vidar, I believe
I may
you
fix
owe
the
us
odd pothole as we go along, like flipping the odd stone and like pushing it
Stone
around
into
with
it.
the end of my long-hafted axe, Oh, I just should have had Dwarven Company come down here and fix all this up. This is not right. Grumbling
You
to
know
myself.
what? Give me a craft roll as you're traveling down, and
I
we'll.
was going to say
we'll
it's made by
see,
dwarves. Damn it!
see what effect that has.
Oh, okay,
At
like a
least on a
incidental.
small area.
Yeah. Great success!
Great success.
Look at that.
You managed to even out some of the larger points where you think a cart going down that's going to break its axle, and for a time after your passing, travel to and from Bree is eased a little, and the shadow finds it a little harder to gain grounds there. So I'm going to give you an extra dice on your travel roll for that. as a
Oh,
bonus.
thank you. Awesome. Well, I'll do that now then, shall I?
Mm-hmm.
Bonus die.
It's where you used up all of your success now on
Yeah.
fixing the
On
roads.
I
fixing
got to
the
roll
road,
like double Sauron.
We're going to end up under the bridge or in the swamp.
Yeah. Double who? Sorry. I'm not going to spend hope on this, I don't think. This can't be.
It's almost a Sauron.
Almost.
Yeah. You manage to, so you can spend your 2 extra successes. Well, basically you go 2 hexes further.
Okay.
So for your success, you travel 3 hexes and you push it up to 5 hexes before an event happens.
Can it be a little
So
cutscene where I push over that stone to lay the thing flat and then I stand on it and I look up and I start my dwarvish walking song? Oh, and then we walk 3 hexes with that sort of playing over the top.
All right, he's off. Here we go.
I haven't finished all the words yet, and then kind of
And-
every now and then there's a
yeah.
little bit of a gap, but I keep going and annoying them for a while.
The words sort of reverberate against the weather hills and weathertop in the distance and bounce back to you, and it keeps your marching going on a little further than it would. It keeps everyone bolstered a little bit more, and your steps remain in rhythm and in sync as you travel down the roads.
I still
But
think
yeah,
you're going to need
you're
to change
about-
a word there because nothing rhymes with orange.
You're about 5 days.
My uncle Borange. Have you never met my uncle Borange?
See, nothing rhymes with orange for us, but dwarves.
Aye. It's a common name round
Dwarves can
my
make-
parts.
Dwarves can make anything rhyme.
Slip in the occasional gold, you'll be fine.
So yeah, you've been traveling about 5 days by the time
Get the map up.
the event in this case happens. But before that, the very night before that, Sigrund, as you lay dreaming in the dark under the stars that are shining down on you from above, your dreams become clouded and restless after a while. And you find yourself standing between 2 elves with drawn swords and spears that appear to be protecting a white tree behind you that you almost recognize somehow from a flame closing in from the plains below. Eventually, though, the elves fall away and the tree darkens and dies under the touch of the flame, and a single branch falls off, landing in a nearby river and casting down out of your sight. But as you're watching this, you hear a deep voice whispering, "All that is gold does not glitter. Isildur's heir journeys past strided. The struggles against past shadows be bitter. At the foot of high pass doom be decided." And you wake suddenly in the middle of the night to find all around you quiet and still.
I will very quickly write down what I just heard.
I
High
will
pass.
very conveniently give you a handout that does just that.
Ooh.
That is very convenient.
There you go. You should be able to see it. I can just put it
Can we
up
all see
for
that?
everyone. There you go.
Oh, cool.
And you find it harder to get to sleep that night for the rest of the night, and dawn breaks earlier than you hoped it would.
I think.
Weighing a bit on your mind.
Probably pace restlessly and be on guard for the rest of the night then if I'm not going to sleep.
Do I, being an elf, I assume I haven't really slept.
What you mainly notice is Sigrun suddenly wakes up. She's been sleeping kind of restlessly all night, wakes up, stares around. Everything out around you is quiet and still. The lights from above are casting their starlight down upon you in a benevolent and pleasing fashion to elves before Sigrun sort of rolls over and goes back to a fitful sleep.
I think she was going to do some nervous pacing, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going to
So
go back to sleep.
I will ask her, Sigrun, what ails you, my friend?
I dream nothing more. Well, maybe nothing more. I dreamt of a white tree in bloom and a fire. And a single branch of the tree fell and drifted away when the tree burned. And the words I heard were of Isildur's heir. But Isildur was the last king of Gondor, and he's long dead. And that line was broken. And there, the High Pass. Where is the High Pass? Tale of a High Pass. I no longer have my maps, see, because Vidar usually deals with that kind of thing. I'll speak with him about it in the morning.
Indeed.
Ida's in the corner rubbing stones in his sleep.
But I'm concerned about this
dwarf.
dream.
Try and get some rest.
There'll be no rest for me tonight. Tell me, do you know anything of the time of Isildur? Were you there 3,000 years ago when the courage of men failed?
No, that was before my time. But I have fought under the battle of the Golden Flower, my lord Gil-galad, who was there, and he has told me tales. No, though I have seen the will of men fail, it was not then. I was there at the time of the wars against Angmar and Witch King. But I have not really travelled from yonder, from Rivendell, since.
I fear that we have become lesser somehow. Once there was more to us, that the men have become petty and vain. I'm worried that our time will pass.
As you say that, you sort of notice that Will Hosburn is backed up against.
Oh, am I balling him while I say that?
A sort of rocky outcropping that you've chosen to camp around as, and you realize although he looks like he's asleep, you suddenly realize he's probably awake, but he seems to be holding the sword in front of him, and you notice a slight tear run down his cheek. But other than that, the rest of the night passes gently into morning. And then you travel a day more and you get to what will be your travel event. So in this case, Vidar, do you want to roll a d6? And we'll find out who
Definitely.
Who will be, or what what member of the fellowship will
So roll D4.
have a little
Roll a
event.
6.
Just fine. Right. So it's a D6 to see who the target is of the event.
5.
In this case, a 5 is the hunters.
Ooh.
It's me, I believe.
Company and see who's a hunter. Yep, that's Sigrun.
Well, the shadow's bloody got it in for me today, hasn't it? Nah, I could have had a bad dream. I'm upset by bloody Steely McSteelo over there.
Sigrun, I will let you decide your own fate by rolling a feat die.
Ooh, feet die. How do I roll a feet die on its own?
Let's roll a d12. We'll see what comes up.
It's a good die.
Yeah, if only there was a game system that used it.
Yes, if only.
Right, so that's a 4. Okay then. You can roll a hunting roll as you're traveling. Sort of notice that whilst Robin Burrows has packed quite a lot of vegetables and a rather large amount of potatoes, there's not anything substantially meaty amongst his pack. There used to be, but somehow over the course of at least 24 meals or something since you left Bree, it's
2
all
whole
disappeared.
days.
And so you decide to
Get away.
wander off from the road and see if you can pick up the trail of something.
Right, so hunting is a favoured role for me. That means
Yes,
that
that's good.
I've got feet dice toggled for best, yeah?
Basically, yeah, you roll 2 feet dice and
Okay, and I don't need to spend
The
any
best roll.
inspiration or hope. I hope.
can if you want. I mean,
I-
I'd spend some hope. Everyone loves spending hope.
Yeah.
It's one of those resources that just keeps coming back, I
Yeah,
think.
just
Probably,
loads of
maybe.
it. I'm not going to do that. I am filled with
Okay.
regret.
Oh dear.
So yeah, you get on the path of a deer. Mainly you find its tracks and you start heading off sort of north of the Weathertop out into the plains at the foot of the hills, and you follow it through a little valley that seems to be descending down into some brushland and thicket around it. You're just following these tracks. The moment you realize you're sort of closing in on it, as you hear a stream and some noise ahead, you pull out your bow and ready it. You're about to fire when you notice that it's a white stag, and it sort of turns its head at you as you hesitate and then leaps off into a nearby woodland. And
Now, when it's a white stag, I wouldn't shoot.
and
the arrow
you
points straight
slip
down.
up in that moment of hesitation, gaining an additional point of fatigue, and everyone else gains 2 points of fatigue as a day gets added to your journey, as you have to track down Sigrun, who has disappeared off for a little while and comes sort of stumbling back with a twisted ankle.
And
Did we
weary.
lose the fatigue from the first trip we were on because we went back to Bree?
Yes, yeah,
Oh, okay,
you
so
can
I'm,
count that as sort of, that was just sort of a mini.
Okay.
so I'm
So I
at
had
3,
2 from
not
that,
5.
so I'm back on 2.
And yeah, basically what happens is you all have to head out and kind of meet Sigrun halfway and help her back on her twisted ankle. And it takes you the better part of the rest of the day to find your way back to the Great Eastern Road. As you're traveling down further, in one of the following nights, can someone roll me a d4? There's 4 of you. Or go with a d4. Also, thank you for all the player rerolls.
He doesn't need them.
The
Don't fall for it.
shadow needs rerolls as well.
Shadow
it
is no
doesn't.
such thing.
Dan or
But a
Roger going to roll a
frail-
d4.
Pale Robin,
Oh, crap.
you find your sleep kind of disturbed at night as well. You're suddenly aware that you're traipsing along down this rocky path with steep rocks to each side of you on a worn trail, and you seem to be descending. And suddenly you notice that there's a strange dark fire burning in the valley below you, and it almost seems to be approaching, coming up this trail that you're wandering down. And it's at that moment that you realize there's a figure standing next to you who is also traveling this trail with you. And as you turn to look at them, your dream sort of fades and you wake up. And in your mind or in your dream, in your ears, you hear the echo of the same rhyme riddle that Sigrun heard.
Gonna have myself a snifter of brandy.
There's brandy.
Maybe.
Yep. And once again, otherwise, it's a clear night. The stars are overhead. Ifildur's probably still just sitting about on watch, as elves are wont to do.
I'll probably have a little snack and then go back to sleep. Snifter of brandy, piece of cheese, perfect night skip.
Ithilda hasn't really dealt with hobbits before, so he assumes that's natural behaviour.
Yeah. As you watch Robin Burrows sort of have a little snack, wake up suddenly in a kind of similar start to Sigrun, have a little snack, turn around, pull a blanket over himself and just go straight back to sleep. You become vaguely aware that there's almost a low whimpering coming from behind you, Isildir.
Yeah.
Will Hoss is still holding gripping the scabbard of the sword tightly in almost claw-like hands, white-knuckled, and in his sleep he's sort of whimpering and worrying at something.
Weak are the hearts of men. Isildir mumbles to himself and turns around.
There you go. Okay. And the next morning, there's getting kind of towards winter time at this point. It's the end of spring. There's a thick mist that slowly lifts over the course of the morning as you set off further down the Great East Trail road. Vidar, instead of a travel roll this time, can you roll me a d6?
Oh, blimey.
I'd like to mix it up.
Lewis, I've taken a temporary point of shadow from the bad night's sleep followed by the cock up. It feels appropriate. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'll let you.
I shall attempt to get rid of it when I get to Rivendell, but I felt like it's affected her quite deeply.
Did I mention how much fatigue you all got, by the way,
Yes.
for that mishap? It was 2 fatigue for everyone and 1 additional one for Sigmund.
Yes.
A 4.
A lot of 4s tonight.
Interestingly, as you're traveling sort of almost near the last bridge, on the last legs of your journey at this point, other than the troll shores which you have to pass by, which is sort of dangerous, you notice like a cart hobbling along with 4 smaller figures pulling it along on their way.
Is it filled with cabbages?
It looks more like it's filled with tools and hammered works of armor and swords and materials.
Are they dwarves?
It has all kinds of things on it, actually.
Oh, brothers. Greetings on this road.
If it's not, we've met before in the tavern, the Prancing Pony in Bree.
Oh, aye.
And there's less of them this time.
Is this the crew I was hanging out
it's
with
the
last
same
time?
group, yeah.
Okay,
the
cool.
same group of dwarves that you met in Bree last time. Ginnar, son of Gar, Gira, daughter of Gar, Borin, son of Burin, son of Burin, and Lonnie,
Boringe,
son of and Boringe.
Plenty of them around.
I mean, after Burin, it was just a whole range of son of Boringe, son of Boringe, son of Boringe. And Looney, son of Lari, sorry. And yeah, they're dragging their cart along. And
does it look like it should be hitched up
greet.
to a horse or something? Or are they just pulling it along?
It could probably use a pony, but there doesn't appear to be a pony anywhere around. Other than the ones you have with you.
Aside from losing your pony, how fare you all?
Losing our pony, I'll tell you. Roads, if this is what the Great East Road's going to be like from now on, I can't see much of us traveling down it. It's been an actual nightmare from start to finish.
What has happened?
Just that I don't know if you know, but the whole road, wargs have been plaguing us half the way here.
Like my axe slides up slightly in my hand. Wargs.
We didn't actually see the troll, but I'm pretty certain it was a troll.
There's always one. There's always one lurking around.
And I've had 3 broken axles as well. It's almost like the road itself has turned against us.
Well, it's a bit better further up. I've been replacing and moving some of these stones around to make it a bit more sure-footed, shall we say.
That's some fine dwarven work indeed then, but it's the rest of the road I'm worried about.
Oh, Sigrun, sounds like there's wargs and trolls ahead.
Well, I suppose then that means you're going to take them on one at a time.
Aye.
Wargs and trolls, you say?
I mean, we've heard tales of the mighty Vidar many wargs, and
Aye.
but yeah, the dwarves sort of at this point start unpacking a bit, and they start getting
Let's have a look at their stuff.
getting
and
a
I'll,
cask out, and
I'll make some nice comments about their
on
wares,
now.
Like to make them feel a bit better. Like, oh, well, this
it
looks like
is
good work.
all fairly decent stuff.
Yeah.
They're coming down from the Lonely Mountains. They're heading down towards all the way through Bree to the Blue Mountains. So yeah, they've brought some stuff. Most of it is stuff from the Lonely Mountain. There's some other stuff they've brought with them from Dale, and it all looks all right. There's a few casks they've got with them of beer that they intend to crack one open with you lot now.
Oh, Dalish goods as well. It's been a while since I've seen anything from home. Whereabouts do you head, gentlemen and lady?
Well, two of our companions from our previous journey have settled in the Blue Mountains, Nar and Oda. They were visiting Oda's family there and decided to stay. We're traveling there as we usually do, and at this rate, I don't know if we'll be traveling back.
Yeah, settling down there too. A lot of folk moving that way.
Will you be heading south past the fords of Bruin then?
Oh no, we're heading to the west now, and we're probably not.
Oh, they're going the opposite way to
not
us.
going back.
Yeah.
We're not coming back now. I don't think.
They're going way west.
Way west.
Yeah.
And they're going to diminish.
No.
Well, the dwarves don't really do that.
Dwarves don't diminish.
There-ish.
Yeah. Oh, the halls of the dwarves. That's the one.
Or there's a few more, aren't there? The Blue Mountains have a few.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Wrong bit. My bad.
Holds.
Yeah, I'm there looking at Moria, going, that'll
yeah.
go fine for him.
yeah. They're not going to Moria. Is it? Not what we passed by there. Now that you mention it, not much word came to us from Moria. I mean,
And you say there are trolls and wargs between here and Bruinen then?
it's I don't know if it's this cold weather made them hungry, but yeah, the road seems to be almost under siege.
It's not hunger that drives these creatures, I fear.
Well,
thanks for this information.
Aye.
This is useful and helpful.
Glad to be shot of it. And we wish you good travels and a good mug of ale. But
One day we'll make this road strong and safe again. I'll stamp on a big stone on the floor. Don't give up on it so quickly. Got some of these elves still lingering that help us to, keep this world vital.
that's another thing. We've seen a fair few of their number traveling west as well. Didn't seem like they were coming back either.
No, many of my kin are moving to the west.
Times grow
Towards the
troublesome.
Shire. It's lovely there.
I don't
I
envisage
fear
a
we,
retirement home in the Shire for many of our elven friends just yet, Mr. Burrows. They probably intend to head further west.
It
Indeed.
looked that way
Where's that
anyway.
then?
They'll take ship from the Grey Havens and sail across the Great Ocean.
Blimey, that is going far.
What might be
Going
out
on.
there, right? I don't know, but it's a
I've
bit
heard that
far
none
for me.
return.
I can imagine. Who would go out there, out on
Or
the
maybe
ocean?
it's just horrendously dangerous and it's all a fairy tale. Who knows?
Sounds like elves.
It is not a fairy tale.
I know this, Master Thildir.
He's tugging your beard, Mr. Ithildir. Don't fall for it. He's a very intelligent man, is Mr. Tomefinder. He knows a good deal more than it seems.
Orin looks at Isildur. Speaking of beards, why is it now that only that Círdan amongst you seems to have a beard? What about the rest of you? Surely a little fur on your face would keep the cold out a bit.
I suppose that's up to the individual and what they want. I, for one, will not sport a beard.
Oh.
Shame that. Shame.
Not even a tash.
How about some good mutton chops?
Now, with those ears, that would be fantastic.
Fashion is a fickle mistress, gentlemen.
Beards
And
never
we
go
all
out of
must
fashion.
sit in her shadow from time to time.
The day fades away
Indeed.
quite pleasantly with the dwarves sharing their drink with you and what supplies they've brought with them. And yeah, I will give you each, if you've lost any so far or spent any, a point of hope.
Oh.
As
Yay.
you found
I have.
old
I spent
friends
the point last
wandering
time.
along the road.
I'm going to share with them some of the map information. You know, when I was in Rivendell and I looked through all the maps and stuff to get some more information about local area. Just anything interesting, you know, while we're drinking and chatting.
I'll cook a nice dinner.
Oh, I must say we don't know much past the roads themselves, because I wouldn't travel any path beyond that.
Look at some of these delvings and old cities and ruins that are dotted across the land. Here, you see here and here, and then some north of the road. So
Look like things built by men.
I know that's why they've tumbled down and broken and shattered upon the land. But they may hold interesting things.
Seems something that you're quite keen on.
Yes, I do indeed like to go and find interesting ruins and remains. Understand what I can of the world that's past.
There's a fair bit of ruins south of here, and well, back closer towards Bree and to the south. There's a few we've passed over the years when we've travelled off road a little bit.
A mark it on the map.
Yep. So it's there-ish.
Yep.
There. Let me. All right, there you go. You've marked it down.
Marked it.
Yeah. In the morning, as your fires die away, the dwarves start packing up their cart again. At least a couple of their casks that they brought with them are completely empty. And they say, well, good travels to you, and maybe we'll meet again in the halls of our forebears.
Aye.
They start heading off further down the road. Their travels will prove smoother than expected as well, because of Vidal's works.
Fair journey to you, gentlemen, and thank you for your hospitality. Should you pass by Dale on your way, give them this and let them know that you are a friend of the family, and I'll give them a little token. Like a
Well,
finger ring or something.
it's not yet been decided if we'll be traveling back east again, but we'll see. We'll be sure.
Should you pass that
Sure
way?
to let
I
them
would
know
not
if we
turn
do
down
travel
the
again.
token of the granddaughter of Bard.
My. Had we known we'd in such illustrious company, we've have another cask for that sort of thing, but
No more illustrious than any other. We are all just the folk of the Middle Earth doing what we can for one another.
that's a fair kindness you do there, but it's not the way we've seen it lately. I hope you travel well and all things come to goodness in the end. But I don't think we'll be traveling back this way again. And Ginar and Gira, Borin and Looney depart, pulling their cart along further down the road. As they disappear off into the early morning mists, and you disappear into the mists, crossing the last bridge and heading past the troll shores.
The troll shores. Someone roll.
Yeah, someone roll awareness.
Oh. Who's good with awareness?
Whoever wants, and anyone who
I have 2.
I've got
one person can chip in as well if
15.
they have some awareness.
I've got target number
with
14 and 1.
a point of hope if you want to help out.
Ooh. Someone can chip in by spending a point of hope.
Point of hope, and then you give an extra.
I will spend a point of hope to help someone.
Oh.
What's your target number, Dan? It will say
How do I
TN
fund-
under strength.
It's on the overlay. It's 15.
15.
Do you want me to give it a go? I've got less dice, but my target number's lower.
Yeah.
But the dice add up.
And
1 point on the target number is.
It's
Not as
also a
good as having
favoured
an
roll
extra.
for me.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be good.
Yeah,
then.
well, they,
Yeah,
oh, they-
that would-
All right, so
you've got
awareness.
You got a dive from me.
double Sauron's. Come on. Also,
we all know
is,
how good I am at this.
Is Sigrund weary now?
No, just shy of it, fortunately.
Okay.
Ah.
You took off
Oh,
your
wait,
helmet.
Do I add a hope die or do I add a bonus die because it's coming from someone else?
You had a bonus die, don't you?
You add a bonus die. It's like spending your own hope. But,
Okay.
someone else is spending it for you.
That's a bit more like it.
It's a great success. So yeah,
Nicely done.
you spot a fairly recent looking hole in the ground and manage to avoid it if you should wish, or you can investigate it. If
I
you
think I
would
should take a
prefer.
look because holes in the ground, is it in the road or by the road?
It's sort of off your hearish now. It's off towards the trees, but you can sort of
So it's
see
not
it in
it's not-
between. A couple of the
It's not
trees have
that
sort of
big I
been,
would want to fix it.
yeah.
No, I
A
think
couple of the
warrants
trees have been sort
investigation.
of broken aside, and it's leading in. to
Sounds a bit
this
like a den.
whole dugout. Yeah.
And if there are troubles here, gentlemen, I see something in the trees. Could be a den or something for wargs or trolls. I'm going to take a closer look.
I
Wargs.
was going to say, do you want me to go have a look? I can be quite quiet when I want to be.
That's probably a good idea, Mr. Burrows.
If you can, but I don't want you to put yourself at any danger,
if
Mr. Burrows.
You
Oh, don't
also,
worry, I won't
if
be
you
going into
want,
no fights.
As you got an extra d6, you could spend that to cancel a failure, score an additional success, gain insight, go quietly, make haste, or widen influence.
I will go quietly as well then. And then
That
Mr.
seems
Burrows
like
can
a
absolutely
good old
investigate
plan.
and I will sneak on up too.
Yeah. You sneak up to it, and there are some odd bits of human, possibly elven, and other creatures' remains, sort of fairly recent around the outside, including what may have been a pony at some point. But you can almost hear something breathing inside the depths of the cave, as it's now daytime. And it sounds like a low kind of rumbling snore.
I'll kind of give the signal of I'm going to go and have a look.
You're
I
going
shall
into
string
the
my bow.
cave.
Yes, I'm going to sneak into the
and
cave.
knock an arrow.
Can hobbits see in the dark?
No.
All right, I'll only go as far as I can see then. And
Well, sort of, if you go just into the edge, you can hear this loud rumbling noise more clearly. It sounds like if Vidar had been inflated 20 times and was asleep. It sounds like that kind of snoring.
I beg your bloody pardon.
But you can't peer far enough into the absolute darkness beyond to find out what's in there. But you're pretty certain, being this area, that it's probably a troll.
could I get like a very low form of light and go in? Something that wouldn't be enough to wake it, and just move very, very quietly.
Yeah. I'll let you roll stealth for that to see if you can move in quiet enough to not wake the slumbering troll.
Success.
You sort of, with a very low light, almost just like a small candle or something, you manage to move in through the cave. It's not the best smell you've ever encountered in your life, but as you move closer, you see the sort of shadowy outline of a rather large cave troll snoring away, leaning against something that looks kind of shiny from where you are, but you can't make it out entirely. The troll is in the way.
Let's try and get a better look.
Yeah, that'll be another stealth roll.
Success.
Get up almost. You can see the troll's face now. It is pretty much everything you would expect of a troll. It's a large, grumpy-looking face, and even in his sleep, is sort of these big teeth set in overly large mouth, grinding away in his sleep. His big hands end in almost claw-like nails that are so thick and chipped and crusted that they could probably scrape the hobbit flesh from your bones if they wanted to. And his head is laying atop a little box. And the box is broken open, and inside it you can see the gleam of gold and gems and silver. It's definitely a treasure of some kind.
So you say the box is broken. Can I kind of get my fingers in?
You could try. Let's have a look.
I mean, is there like any overspilling?
It sort of is, but it's all really around where he's using it pretty much as a cushion. So there's some coins, but you'll be very close to this troll, and I will say that this is almost you have levels of failure, and this would be a foolhardy attempt. So if you fail, the troll is going to wake up and immediately see you, and you'll be standing right next to it.
Sod it. I'm a treasure hunter.
Can
we all have got a little bit closer outside so we're not a million miles away if something goes wrong?
Yeah, you can sort of all move in around.
Not right by the
troll hole.
I shall hoot twice like a barn owl and once like a snowy owl, and that's how you shall know to approach.
Woof like a wog.
I think as there isn't really a thief roll, we'll go with stealth again to sort of try and grasp. What are you trying to do? Some of it, or just sort of sneak the box out?
Lucky.
Some of it. I mean, sneaking the whole box out would be very, very difficult.
Gandalf is in your favor, and
I'm just trying to kind of a few handfuls to stuff in my pockets.
Is the tater locator glowing blue?
The tater locator is almost vibrating in your pocket. It's like, oh, there's something here.
I know.
You reach out with a handful. Can you roll me another fate dice to see? Just to see what it is you pick up.
Is that just a D12?
Yeah, just a D12.
7.
Okay. You get a handful of coins and manage to get some
8 silver
necklaces and things around you, and you manage to pull about 10 treasure away from the troll while it's still sleeping and sneak off back.
Palantir in hand.
That'd have been a Gandalf. Just like,
yeah.
Another Gandalf. Oh, another ring. Yeah, I'll kind of sneak back out of the cave. And
are you wearing a necklace when you come out?
Most of the treasure will be tucked away in
a bunch of them.
Nice.
The treasure will be largely hidden, apart from a shiny coin that I'll be carrying, or something shiny to kind of go, there's treasure in there.
More importantly, is there a troll?
Yeah, there's a troll in there, but its head's on a big box that's full of this. I'll say, holding up a gold coin.
The treasure's not important. The troll is the threat here. We can't leave it.
No. We need to rid the road of this troll.
It is indeed very close to the road.
How could we get close enough to loose an arrow and then disappear into the daylight?
You can't hit it from outside the cave.
Oh no! What I mean is, could we go in a little bit?
You'd have to go in. Yeah, you could sneak in a little bit, fire an arrow each, maybe, and then
I suggest
run
we
away.
Raise arms, stand firm, and take the troll down.
Well, I like the sound of
by
taking
the way,
down a troll.
are you specifically trying to keep the rest of the treasure that you took from everyone else?
No, not specifically. It's just I didn't want it jingling around.
But do you tell them about the rest of the treasure?
I've told them there's a box of treasure in there.
He hasn't said his pockets are full of treasure.
Yeah,
my bag is full of
your pocket.
Well,
when you went in there, you looked a little bit different. Now you've come out, you look like.
Why are you leaning to the left?
I will say basically
it's the way it goes.
Misdeed shadow points. Are you trying to obscure most of the treasure?
I'm not actively trying to steal it.
Okay, so we might hear a jangle in your pocket randomly if you jumped around.
It's more that probably not, but I would tell you about it afterwards. It just
Yeah,
doesn't seem
Yeah.
particularly important.
I'm not too
now.
fast.
That was the main important thing. So
Yeah.
then you have
Would you
10
conceal
treasure to
it?
divide
Yeah, no. Robin's
between
quite
them,
honest.
all of you.
of it.
And otherwise, Robin Burrows would have at
10
least
treasure.
9 treasure,
Yeah.
but also 2 shadow points.
Yeah, are you going to split it with us later, Roger? That's the question.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, okay.
At a
That
point
was-
that's not right now.
That's
Robin
okay.
would go,
Sure,
I
sure.
got this.
Yeah.
Never
No
mind the treasure.
problem.
I have a suggestion for the troll.
Aye.
Kick it
Lure
in the
it out.
balls.
Lure it out is certainly one thing, but if we're going to do that, I suggest that you stand above it, right there, and when he comes running out, you sink that big axe of yours right into his head.
Climb upon his back and mount my blade in his skull.
Might not even need to climb on his back. You might just be able to go dunk when he comes running out.
It'll make
Has
for a
anyone
better
got a
story,
mirror?
though, right?
Do you want
I
to have a
see your
mirror on
point.
him?
No, I don't.
But Elf's got a very shiny sword.
Just wondering if you could angle some of the daylight into
Well,
that
Hoss-
cave.
Get Hoss, see if he can use his
Perhaps.
sword.
Well, perhaps I
Perhaps
could
we
polish up my serving tray.
Oh, the map just
Perhaps we
changed.
could start a fire and smoke it out to the daylight.
Not sure
So
that'd
that's
work.
sort
If
of-
you smelled it in there, it's probably making an improvement.
Where you are now
Oh,
is
dear.
the sort of the entrance of the cave, and yeah, you can set yourselves up however you want. The troll is here-ish. If you can see,
Yes, we
where my
can't see it
king
right
is.
now.
We rather want him to come
Yeah.
out to us rather
It's
than
sort of
us having to go in to him.
behind a corner, but Robin Burrows knows exactly where, as
Oh yeah, I
he
would describe
snuck
it.
around there, and
Right,
knows that
let's-
basically you just go straight in around the corner a little bit, and the troll is pretty much lying straight there.
Alternatively,
atop.
we set a trap right here, and then we make lots of noise. He comes running out to eat us. Bosh, right in the head with an axe.
I can't
trips
imagine he's
over the
going to come
tripwire.
outside into the sunlight.
It depends how smart he is, doesn't it?
Might be
We can
able
do what we
to.
can.
Might be able to put a trap down just as it rounds the corner, like kind of here, like a tripwire or something.
So, do you want to set up some kind of ambush for the troll?
Can I?
Well, I
Do
tell
I
you what,
reckon
I
I
could
could set
stand
up a
here and
trap?
bellow, and you chaps could all stand either side of this entrance, and when he comes running out to fight me, you lace him with arrows, and I stand my ground.
Do I reckon I could put down a tripwire or something, Lewis?
Yeah, you can create. Like, how are you going about it? You could use a stealth roll. You could use
I
a
could do-
craft roll.
Yeah, I could do craft or
Or-
stealth.
Yeah, to sort of create. You're creating an ambush, basically.
Well,
I'd like to
trying
make a
in this
hunt
case-
roll to put some spikes and sharpen bits of wood and stuff like that out.
If one of you rolls, one of you can assist as well.
Do
and
you want
can
craft or
also-
stealth, Lewis?
It's up to you. As long as you explain to me how you want to go about it, I'm fine with either.
Well, I'll be sneaking in using are there like stalagmites and stalactites in the cave, or
Yeah, it's like it's been fairly haphazardly burrowed out,
Okay.
probably over the course of a while, because it's a fairly big sort of hole dug into the earth.
all right. Using the the natural rock, I'm going to put down a tripwire from because I've got hunting stuff, traps and things.
Yeah.
And if Sigrun's going to give me some spikes, I can always put those down on the other side of the tripwire. So
I
hopefully
haven't
it
got any
falls onto the
spikes, but I'll make you some from all the damaged trees that are around here. And if you can put them down sort of there, so it comes out this way, and then bam, lands right there.
Yeah,
There is
so
a tiny fly in my cupboard, and it's doing my head in.
So essentially, your trap's going to be there, basically.
and then some kind of
Pungy
spikes.
spikes.
Kind
Yeah.
of
Pungy.
there-ish.
What we're going to count that as is basically the whole thing will become an ambush. So you'll get
Oh.
a free combat round to shoot at and fight the troll before it has a chance to do anything at all.
So do you want me to make the stealth roll for putting that down? Because I'm
Yeah.
trying to do it quietly.
Stealth roll, and if Sigrun spends a point of hope,
Yep.
you can receive an extra d6.
Ooh, bonus to the left, I think. Oh no, that was actually a penalty dice. There should be another dice on top of that.
Re-roll it, and you've got a re-roll anyway if you
I know.
need it as well.
It's got bonus penalty. Yeah, I went the wrong way.
That looks a bit better. Imagine rolling a 1 and still succeeding. I mean, that's yeah. So you managed to set the whole thing up, and then I take it Vidar just sort of bellows loudly.
The other option is we could shoot it in the head, and then I could hop over the tripwire because I know exactly where it is.
Well, feels like we should issue a challenge and see if it comes forward. Ithildir, my elven comrade, where will you be standing in when this battle commences?
I will be standing next to you.
Aye. I feel like Vidar is suddenly feeling like he needs a throwing axe or a spear or something that he can chuck before combat. That's kind of where his brain's going for the next.
If you have an axe, you could throw it if you want.
I've got a long hafted axe and I need to
you
fight
can't
with
throw
it,
that.
so I can't throw that. No, but I was thinking, maybe next time I see a roving band of dwarves with a cart full of weapons, I might ask for a spear.
Or a throwing axe.
So if one of you shouts out a challenge of any kind, the cave troll comes rushing out in a steaming sort of pounding on the ground, pulling itself forwards on these big old claw-like fingers, and leans up, roars at you, and then
Come
runs
forward, you
straight-
foul creature! We are ready for you!
straight into the trap, tripping over the tripwire and landing on these sticks, stalactites and stuff sticking out of the ground that you've placed, and momentarily getting caught and stabbed, and in that
Impressive.
case we'll go over into a combat round. You can start off. You've got a free combat round, so you can start off by your initial volleys. And then after that, we'll go into the actual combat. You get a free round of that as well without the troll being able to do anything, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Trolls, by the way, very tough.
Yep.
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 So we can all let off an arrow.
You could definitely.
Do we need to go into an
do with
encounter, into the
letting-
encounter tab, or are we just doing it off our character sheets?
I'll select everyone and accept that person.
Play the Final Fantasy
Come.
music. That means the fight's about to kick off.
Da, 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 da. So all shoot a bow then, shall we? So that's in combat proficiencies. Yeah, we click on bows there.
On opening volleys, so you can do that.
No, you don't
now.
click on it there. You
Select-
click on it in War Gear.
Yeah.
Or you click on the weapon
Select
in the war
and
gear.
target the cave troll as well,
Oh, yeah.
and then it'll
Good point.
automatically do that. And in the
Good point.
meantime,
I don't have a bow.
oh no,
What? You're an elf.
you
Yeah.
have no form of ranged weapon.
Just brutal
No, but I
frontline
have a-
fighter.
Yeah, I have a very poor bows anyway, so
So how do we select the troll? Do we just click on him?
You get
I
your
think you just
target.
take
You
Like
can
little arrow-
right-click the
arrow.
troll and use the target. Click on the target to select it, or Control T, I think, as well.
Yeah,
works.
or on the left
Shift
with
T,
the
something like that.
little pawn,
Yeah.
you can select the target symbol. I'm just going to go for it.
A Gandalf. Nice start.
Boom!
All hit.
It's not letting me click on him.
And the troll needs to take a protection roll because that was a piercing blow.
Boom.
So your arrow, as it sort of falls over the tripwire onto these spikes and things, it rears its neck up and roars at you, and your arrow plants straight into its shoulder between its neck and...
Yeah. Vidar one troll, I'll say, looking at Sigrun.
And the cave troll is wounded, and it roaring as well as it pulls up.
Oh,
You need to select
something
one and only one token to attack. What am I doing wrong?
I don't think
something wrong.
mine did an attack. 'Cause it's done a great success, but I'm assuming that's wrong.
Yeah, you have to click on the weapon itself in your character sheet.
Oh.
Well, your bow.
Oh, that's annoying. That was a really good
rating,
roll.
and then
Right.
Oh, buggery bollocks.
Oh, I'm
Just
going to use
let
my
me
reroll on that.
Shoot it.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Cave troll. There he is.
Dang it.
Should I be clicked on me as well?
No.
No.
Target him.
No, I don't think so.
Just target the troll and then roll.
It won't let me
Robin's
target the troll.
Is
Oh,
it a
that's
bow?
because I
Yeah, I
haven't
had a
got
bit
the
of a trouble
target
targeting as
thing
well.
juggled.
Robin's arrow sort of skips off the top of its head. These almost rock-like plates that have stuck out of the top of its head and just bounces off into the darkness beyond, and it's howling and roaring at you now.
Whoa.
Oh, you did the same thing I did. You need to click
That's
on the
pretty
weapon.
good.
I did click
Good
on the weapon.
success.
What?
I did
Christ, how
click on
big
the
is...
weapon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got a funky name. It's a named weapon.
it's
Okay.
named weapon.
Yeah. How much damage does your weapon do?
I Wennerech does 5 damage.
Okay.
Wow.
However,
do you have?
it's-
Well, yeah, it still won't be a piercing blow.
it is. It
because,
might do actually.
It might do.
It's fell and grievous, not piercing. But I have
What does
fierce shots as barding.
Is your so with Grievous? Does that make your piercing 9 as
It's
well?
just +1 damage.
Well, I think. Wait, let me have a look. Fell and
Yeah, Grievous is what's on my frying pan. It's just +1 damage.
Yeah.
Grievous frying
You have
pan.
a grievous frying pan.
Because
It's
it's
cast
always
iron.
got like some hot oil in there as well. It's like
Raises the injury
Cast iron
rate.
frying pan.
Yeah.
It weighs a lot.
That is
Oh, no,
amazing.
Keen.
Keen was the one I
Yeah.
couldn't fit on it for some reason. It was being fussy about that, so that's why I put.
Oh
Grievous
right,
and
you
fell on it.
changed it.
But my
Okay,
injury
then.
threshold on it is 18, so
Well,
have a
it's,
bit of
it's
that
not.
sunshine.
It's not a piercing blow. What's your damage on it?
Damage is 5.
Okay. Bonk. You can also, having hit it and scored a 6.
Are we on blades as well, or are we just using bows at the moment?
Just bows at the moment. It's the
Okay.
initial volleys.
I'm out.
Oh well, I'll just do nothing.
He's
You
observing.
should
That's
be
what he's here for.
able
He's an observer, isn't he?
You can spend your 1 success to do a heavy blow. Add +2 if using bows, in which case it would become a piercing blow.
I'll do that. Because if I turn it into a piercing blow,
Yeah.
then its
then
protection
it-
roll is ill-favoured.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
Fancy.
You're a barding.
I have a barding fierce shot.
I will use its denizen, not its denizen, its thick hide though, and spend a point of hate.
Point of hate. What can men do
add-
against such reckless hate?
To add 2 to its
Or roll.
to its dice. but it's an ill-favored roll then. Yeah.
It's like disadvantage, right?
It manages the basically Sigrun's heavy bow arrow strikes it on the other side of its shoulders, but a bit further down, and it roars and snaps it loose as it starts to try and pull itself loose of all of these spikes and the tripwire to lurch forward to attack you all.
Isn't he?
So what does the ambush do differently from a normal combat round? Because you normally
Well,
get
now
the
you
opening
can
volleys.
also do combat
So we get another
without
round.
the
Okay,
without
so
the
it's like a
cave
free
troll.
attack round.
Basically, we're now in combat, but the cave troll is not going to do anything.
Do we select our stance?
Yep, you can select a stance.
How come my name just appeared on the thing?
How do I change?
Because
you
you're
have
going
initiative.
first, apparently.
Okay.
How do I change my stance?
You
right click on your character,
token.
and you should be
My
able, in the
token.
left-hand side, be able to select. Yeah, on your token, be able to select your stance. I will say, because the troll can't actually move at this point because of your ambush, you could all stay in rearward if you wanted to.
Oh no, I want to get involved.
Yeah.
You're all
So
going to
do we
go
click
bash the
forward?
troll.
That you can
so
go.
You
You
can
could go
select a stance,
open, and there's no
Open
bonus or penalty.
or forward stance, in which case you'll get an extra d6 for attacking.
I'd go forward this round because it can't do anything.
And then you can just move up to the cave troll.
Watch
And,
me slide down the initiative order. As I
basically, if
stay
you
in
all
rearward.
pick your stances for combat now and then move in, then Isildur will start first. And everyone else can...
Okay. I'm assuming I've clicked open there.
you're on
and now-
open stance. You're on
I
forward.
wanted to
at the
move to
moment.
forward. Yeah,
Yeah.
forward is what
Yeah,
I want.
you're on
Okay, cool.
forward. So
Alright,
just
so I'm
move yourself
gonna-
up to the cave troll. And Vidar, you can move up to the cave troll as well because you're on. And I take it, Robin and Sigrun, you're staying in rearward stance.
Not
But yeah,
ours.
I know normally I wouldn't be able to, but I
That
have
is
a virtue
cool.
small folk which allows me to.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, in this case, you can anyway because the troll's not moving. It's still sort of caught up in this whole mess of the ambush you've set for it. Okay, Isildur.
So I go down to the weapon.
Yeah.
Click on the weapon.
Select target the troll first, and then so right click on the troll or left click on
I
the
thought it did
right
that.
click on
Yeah,
the
it's
troll
gonna-
and
Yeah, I've done that. It's got
Select
a bracket
target.
around it. Yeah.
yeah, that's
orange.
perfect.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
click
done
on
that.
your
Ooh, my first combat.
you should be able
Click
to
on my-
click on your weapon, then the Grievous Fell long sword, and it should
Okay.
automatically attack the troll.
Cut its head off in one go.
Maybe. If you
Jeez.
get another wound.
How
on it.
many dice?
Yikes on bikes.
So
Well, we know
yeah,
what he
you-
spent 2,000 years doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why does that not state the damage and stuff?
Yeah, it's
It's showing it on my
it's
character
just
sheet.
Oh, it's because
So
you
heavy
probably
blow,
clicked on the
headphone,
weapon skill
damage.
rather than the weapon.
No,
No,
that's
I
that's
definitely
clicked
clicked
on
on
the
it.
Grievous
Clicked
Fell
on it.
longsword. It's specific.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that did.
It says
6
heavy blow,
damage
add
anyway.
5 damage.
You can add 5 damage for heavy blow, or you could
Oh,
make
look,
it
no,
a
I have to
piercing blow.
I have to submit the special damage.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
cool.
why it's not
I'm
popped
gonna
up.
Yeah.
So if I submit it,
Ah.
yeah, there you
Oh.
go.
All right. Well,
Cool
what you could
beans.
have also done is, could you choose between heavy blow and piercing blow?
Yeah, there were 3 choices out there. Actually, I
'Cause I think
thought the
if
other
you'd
one
have done a piercing blow, you could have caused an extra wound.
no, I'm fine with that.
No, you're fine with that. Okay, then. In which case, yeah, you whomped the troll and cut straight into its arm and sliced through a part of it, and it's still trying to pull itself loose and shouting at you. These large fangs and broken teeth, spitting horrendously decaying teeth bits in your direction because trolls. But yeah,
it's a spittle of blood on my shield.
Badly injured, said
Yeah,
troll.
elves never get mucky. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually.
Fortunately, Vidar has stood right there.
Vidar, you
They make excellent gore sponges.
Oh,
It's the beards.
foul beast from the depths. Let me send you back there now. Can I? Where are we? Where's my long-hafted axe? Can I spend a point of hope?
Yeah, you sure can.
Take this foul creature down.
Do you have anything that give you inspiration, or?
No, not
know
really. I'm
anything.
proud. That's not really. No.
No. Yeah, cool. But you can spend a point of hope for an extra d6.
Yes, that's what I will do. So, long-hafted axe. Bosh, spent a hope point bonus die. Cool, and let's roll.
Roll up.
Bosh!
Cuts deep into the troll's back and pull your axe out again, and the troll growls at you.
There'll be more of that.
Clearly badly injured. Doing good so far. Next up is Sigrun. You watch the Fildir cut into the troll's arm and Vidar slice into its back. And the troll still seems to somehow be pulling itself up slowly and roaring at all of you.
Well, good lord. What a horrifying creature. Right, so let's do that.
I say trolls are nice.
How do we get
You
inspiration?
all that are mean. You just
I
want
say
to
shoot
sit
it
there
in
and
the
sleep
face.
in this.
We just
Okay.
kick the door in and we're murdering him.
Inspired. Did you get inspired?
So if you have any virtues that you think
Proud,
fit the situation,
willful, shadow law. What's its weak point? Yeah, I'm going to use shadow law. Because this is a creature of shadow, isn't it?
it is a creature of shadow, but shadow law specifically is sort of like connecting a unifying thread between everything that's happening. This almost seems like a random troll that has strayed too close at the moment.
Well, that was bloody silly
You
of him then.
could maybe connect it to everything if
I think that's probably afterwards, though, isn't it? Let's be honest. So I shan't push my luck there, but I will throw a hit.
you can have a point of hope for give me a point of hope for an extra d6. Just
do that
spend all
then.
your hope.
I'm going to spend a big chunk of it because it makes me feel better.
Wow.
That is a great success. Yeah.
So
you
I'd
can
like to
spend the extra
upgrade-
d6 for a heavy blow because you're not going to be
I
able
already
to
had a
get
heavy blow.
to a piercing.
It's already given me a heavy blow.
Yeah, if you click on the heavy blow, then you
Yep.
can, because it's the only one you can select because your feat dice was a 5, so
Okay.
even pushing it up to
12.
you couldn't get to a piercing blow, but 12 points of damage is a fair old piece of damage, and yeah,
Especially for a little
arrow-
stick.
where your previous arrow sort of landed more towards his shoulder, the second one embeds itself between his neck and his shoulder, opposite to where Vidar's first arrow fell, and the troll seems to be having problems trying to sort of pull itself up now, as roaring and screaming at you.
Get him, Master Buttles!
As it's taken
Do-
a fair old beating from
Do you throw a potato up in the air and whack it with the frying pan? And then like knock it. Dunk.
I could, but I think my bow might be a little bit better.
Don't disrupt your
it's a
Stab
kill
it in the
stealer.
face with a chip.
I thought that'd be an amazing ranged weapon.
I mean, it would
Remember
be
the
amazing
D&D
if
game.
the
Pete?
halfling gets
Remember
it.
the D&D game.
Mm.
Roger comes charging up at the end and slots every single monster.
Yeah.
Like, I was fighting that!
Oh, here we go.
Go on, Robin. It's the One Ring. It's always a fellowship effort. Anyway. That arrow
Got a reroll.
skirts off of a wall into
do
the
I have a
darkness.
You
No,
do
I
have a
don't.
reroll.
No, I think you
You
used
do
it.
have
I
earlier
used
on.
it.
Oh,
I don't
you
use
used
Oh,
it.
right. There
Sorry.
you go. It skirts off of the wall into the darkness, and the troll starts pulling itself up to its full height, and
Here
it
we
pulls
go.
itself up sort of onto its fists, and it already looks taller even than Nifildir and Sigrun, and it sort of lurches up further again,
Maybe you've hit the other
raising
one
its
behind it.
hands up, and you all find yourselves looking up at it as it lurches forward towards you. However, you can all pick stances and go again.
Right.
If you're lucky, there will be no more troll to fight by the time it starts smacking you about the head.
Going open. Just in case it doesn't die.
I'm going forward, I think. Just in
Do you
case I
want
can
to
try.
change? Well, if you're going forward, you'll be Fildir will be going first anyway.
Mhm.
So anyone else who wants to change their stance, now's the time. Robin's
forward
still
stance
allowed
with the
to
bow.
remain in Rearwood as extra to Sigrund because of
Small
being
folk.
small, basically.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's a handy thing.
that is
It
is
is.
really handy.
Means I don't have to go into melee anymore.
Well,
And it means I don't
two
have
of
to
you
feel
can
like a
use
shit to be
bows,
an
and
archer.
that's- Yeah.
Okay, let me try this.
Let me try
Yowzers.
this.
Yowzers,
If says
32.
throwing
Fucking
out
hell.
50
And then I'll
dice.
do a piercing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is there any extra effect to that? Like, does it make it ill-favored in any way? Or...
Oh, sorry, I've gone off the screen because once you click it,
All
it
right.
disappears.
Yeah, no, just has your weapon
Have you got any
anything,
special
or have you
feats
got
or
anything
Oh no,
that,
it's Grievous
Yeah.
Fell Longsword.
like Sigrun's bow is
Yeah,
specifically
exactly the
very
same. I think.
murderous because Sigrund is from Dale and really good at shooting people.
Go on
Yeah,
get a
okay.
dragon one day. You know,
In that case,
Tradition.
I will spend a point of hate to add 2 protection dice to it as well.
Oh.
That is
The
mean.
troll
Ah.
for a second time as a fielder's sword
Blurs.
rips up as the troll lurches forwards and just sort of shoves it straight through the troll's chin and up into its head. And as you pull it free, the troll lurches forwards and falls flat in front of you. Mouth still open, roaring at you as the last of its breath escapes right in front of Vidar, basically.
I stick my
Yeah.
axe in its face.
Yeah, it twitches slightly at the hit of the axe, but stops moving.
Well done, everybody.
I will be waiting outside.
I'm going to start lighting up a lantern so we can actually see properly inside.
Yeah. You find some barrels that it's stolen from places, like half filled with dried meats and fish and vegetables, and it's been ripped open. Half the vegetables are rotten. The meats are starting to turn, even though they've been dried, but they've been there so long. It's gnawed on bones and things, and it's just a mess of things the troll has collected. But you remember that one box that you already took some of the contents from, and it's just sitting there.
Hang on, I'm
waiting
round there with
for
him.
you.
Yeah, well, obviously, Vidar can move the big, heavy thing.
Sure.
It's a bit stronger than I am. Is there anything else in here that we might be interested in before we just walk out with just the box?
It doesn't look like it. It looks like most of the other things are just everyday items, and the main treasure is this one box that it was using as a pillow.
Okay, so there's no like weapons lying about or anything.
Or statues that need rubbing.
Are there any like
No.
hidden bits to it, or
Not really.
I might tap a few of the
It's
walls
just
with
the
the end
sort
of
of
my
thing.
axe, just like
Yeah.
make sure it's a natural cavern.
I know that's on the map, but that's just the map I have.
Yeah, no, don't worry, don't worry.
Basically.
No, just no. I didn't mean anything by it. I was just like he's like
it's
quite
just-
curious
yeah.
and would just poke
It looks
about
like
a bit.
it's basically a sort of hollowed out cave that has been ripped out of the ground by troll hands
Okay.
over generations.
Mhm.
Previous trolls have probably lived here, and each troll has sort of carved out a bit more space for themselves over the years.
Can
But,
I mount the troll's head on a spike up near the road to warn travellers that trolls are in the area? I'll mount it on the spike before
yeah.
taking it into daylight,
Yeah, sure.
because that way when I take it into daylight and it turns to stone, Dan, you're muted.
I was going to ask, does it turn to stone if it's dead?
We'll
Good
find
question.
out when you take it outside.
Because that would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
What's in the
I
box?
will- In that
What's in the
case,
box?
coolness wise, I'll say yes.
Excellent.
And as Vidar and Robin come out of the cave carrying this box, one of you can roll a d6, a success dice.
After you, Mr. Burrows.
Yeah,
you've
you're
seen
the
my
treasure
rolling
hunt.
tonight? Is that wise?
All
You
right,
want me
I'll
to
do it.
roll? I'll roll it if you. Oh,
There you go.
nope.
Who are we going with? I'll go with the three. I'm kind.
It's the first one.
There are currently 4 of you. There's usually 5 of you. So, in that case, you get, because there's usually 5 of you, you get 15 treasure. Divide amongst yourselves.
Is that in total, including the 10 from before, or extra?
That's extra.
Oh,
The 10 before was, yeah,
So what does treasure
so
do?
wait.
placed from
So
under
there's
the
25
troll's
total.
nose.
So
Yep.
5 each.
Yeah, because basically when we're outside, I would have kind of produced the rest of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
By the way, I had this with me. That's why I couldn't shoot.
Oh, our
My
insurance
pockets were
plan was
filled with
this.
gold. Yeah, so you get 5 treasure each if you divide it equally amongst yourselves.
I
Or
think
you can squabble over it.
no,
if you
I think
want.
we should definitely share it equally, but perhaps
Aw,
we'll wait
that's no
until
fun.
our friend and colleague, Mr. Hoss, has given back the elven items.
But to give him his money.
Yeah, we'll hold it in surety for him.
Hmm.
And after that, the road towards Rivendell passes smoothly. And you find yourselves once again in Imladris. in the halls of Elrond in the last homely house. And one of Elrond's... Yes,
Could I have taken a little, troll finger or something as proof that I killed a troll? I can show everyone at home.
Let's keep it sort of salted in. You grab
it turns to stone, doesn't it?
Pickle it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. Yeah. Yeah. You get a stone troll finger. No one at home ever really quite believes you because it's stone. You know, you could have just broken it off of a statue or something. But Robin knows.
I could have sketched the head on a spike in one of my books. You know.
Mark it on the map as well.
Mark it on the map.
When you arrive in Rivendell, you are invited by one of Elrond's I want to say staff.
Flunkies.
Just flunkies.
Minions.
To join Elrond and Gandalf, who has also arrived within the Great Hall for council and supper.
Aye.
Indeed.
Arriving there, you're greeted by a fair banquet laid out on the large tables. There's some other people around as well, but it seems like you've been given spaces towards the front of the table, closer to where Elrond himself sits on a sort of raised dais, and nearby Gandalf.
Do we have time to shower and change?
Yeah.
Or is this rack up in your armor and deal with it?
However you want to take it, you're invited to supper with Elrond and
This
Gandalf.
is a diplomatic. It's princess up time.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be unarmoring as well and getting into my elven clothes.
Fetching up my notebook and quill.
Offering to help in the kitchen.
None of the elves want to deal with all these potatoes you keep producing. What are we meant to do with that? What purpose that you can't eat it raw? Why would you have it?
I'll be in my own little corner cooking up some food.
They give you a small fire in the kitchen to amuse yourself with.
Cook myself a massive plate of food. While everyone's eating a salad, I'll eat some real food.
I push my plate towards Mr. Burrows to hopefully get a few chips slid across.
There's a slight raised eyebrow from Elrond, but otherwise he greets you. Welcome upon your return to Imladris. I had not wished to call upon you so soon, but matters of great importance have come to our attention. And it would be best if we all take counsel together, and then I would hope we could send you on an errand of some import.
Aye.
Gandalf sort of looks over at you. Import indeed. I know not of other matters at the moment that are more important.
Before we begin, my lords, may I share with you a vision, a dream I've had? I don't know if we'll have relevance to the quest you wish to send us on. As we travelled this way and I slept, I dreamed, and in my dream, a cohort of elves stood against an oncoming fire, and I behind them, with my back to a white tree. And as the fire approached and the elves fell, the tree caught fire, and a single branch fell from the tree into a river. And as it fell into the river, it sailed away down the stream. The tree was destroyed, but the branch lived on, although I know not where. And the words, "All that is gold does not glitter, Isildur's heir journeys path strided. The struggle against past shadows be bitter. At the foot of high pass, doom be decided.
That's
Came to
right,
me.
weirdo. I had the same thing.
Elrond and Gandalf look at each other, share sort of glance. It's almost surprising to you how apparent the surprise or shock on Elrond's face is as he and Gandalf sort of exchange looks. I believe this has to do with the matters for which we have called you here.
Seems we should
It
take
is-
counsel then.
Yes, most definitely.
I've been greatly troubled by the rising shadow of late.
That troll was quite a bother, wasn't he?
Do any of you want to do anything else before you go into sort of council period?
Just make
Are
sure
any
I'm
of you,
properly
by the
dressed.
way, going to mention the 2 bodies you have with you?
Oh, yes.
I
Not
thought
at
it would have been
dinner,
glaringly obvious,
perhaps.
but
I
yeah,
thought,
fair enough.
yeah.
Like, oh, by the way,
Before we
yes,
have dinner, I think that would be something that we'd want to hand over nice and early on. And then lots of pointed looks at Hoss.
yeah,
That weekend of
Hoss is
burning
sort
them
of
into the room.
gripping the sword as well, and along with the bodies. At this point, you've all been moved in after the eating and feasting and so forth. Been moved into the Hall of Fire, where in the corner, elves are singing songs that all but Fildir have never heard before, about times so long past that, as far as you're aware, no one here has probably ever was alive, or save maybe Elrond himself. And they gather together, and you bring forth these bodies, and Hoss is gripping onto the sword. And Elrond looks over all 3 objects, and he says, I believe I know that sword. It is the sword of Amrus, which was carried long ago by one of the sons of Fëanor. And the sword itself is likely laced with great sorrow, and you can almost feel that on Will Hosburn's face. He's become disheartened and sorrowful and almost mourning throughout the entire journey. Elrond seems surprised by it though, and says, it is both a comfort that the sword has been recovered, and yet it unsettles me that such an object should be revealed now. I will not speak its true name here, but the sword itself should probably remain in Rivendell. However, we can't allow the sorrow that consumes it to find soil within the last homely house. As for these 2 slain kin that you have brought back to us, these I remember personally from experience. They are Calaron and Kedron, both brothers from Linden, who swore an oath to the death of Angmar after their father was killed, leading Linden elves to our savior in the siege of Rivendell. They travelled far after that throughout 50 years of pursuit of their goal, and often found an ally in the King Arveleg the First of Arnor. It was presumed they were slain when Arnor fell and the Weathertop was raised. Once again, this seems like an ominous portent that you bring to us. But he has the bodies taken reverently away, and he turns to Will and the rest of you and says, perhaps, though, for this great deed to elven kind, I can offer you a trade in return. And he has one of the other elves come forth, and they bring with them elven cloaks for all of you, which, according to Elrond, will protect you against the coming of winter and the sight of the enemy. And I'll drag them into your
A great
character
gift.
sheets later.
Thank you, Lord Elrond.
Ooh, a nice
Nextly,
green.
he produces a lantern, and Elrond tells you it's a lantern of Lorien, used to illuminate the darkest shadows in your ventures to come. And finally, a small dagger is brought forth. And Elrond says, we have had time to fit the broken hilt of the dagger that you brought to us with a new elven blade. This is the dagger Elensimia, the star-edged, forged from the broken Nogrodian hilt and our own elven smiths. And that's a magical dagger that one of you can use, which has superior grievous and the gleam of terror.
Give it to the elf.
Initially, Elrond tries to swap it with Will for the elven sword of
Does he do the
Ambrose that
swap? Because if he does the swap, I won't take the dagger.
It takes a little while, but eventually
We all give him stink eye. We're all like,
Hoss manages to let go of the sword, and you see almost
positive reinforcement.
a weight lifts from him, and his mood sort of suddenly bolsters, and you're reminded of the Bree man with which you first travelled as Hoss returns to his usual, more positive demeanour.
When he hands it over, I'm like, good man, and hand him a chip.
yeah, and I'll pat him on the back.
He also gets 2 points of hope back, so that's good for him.
I will take a thankful breath of relief that he did it.
Yeah.
Because I was going to stab him.
I don't have to kill him now.
Yeah, I think all of us kind of
Basically,
drink by about inches and breathe out.
I asked Jim beforehand. Just
It only shrinks by 1 inch.
Yeah. Anyway, after that, Elrond and Gandalf draw you closer into a corner, sat against the big fires of the fire hall, as you're warmed by their glow, to discuss the matters at hand. And the matter at hand is thus, that the old foe that you met previously, attempting to cross the ford of Brune, that had been hunting you, it appears that Barad-dûr has caught wind that there may be an heir of Isildur amongst the rangers of the north. And this old foe, a Númenorian of old, a black Númenorian, has been sent forth with 2 others of his kind and a band of orcs to hunt for Isildur's heir, who Elrond assures you is currently beyond their reach. However, he will soon be returning this way, and there are others amongst the Dunedain who know his route. And it's they that must be warned, as though they are staunchly loyal and not without strength nor resolve. They are fewer each year and unlikely to be able to withstand such an onslaught by the enemy. And Elrond and Gandalf both fear that should the enemy manage to get hold of a number of the Dunedain, they may be able to somehow force the information from them and thus ambush the heir of Elendil on his return to Eriador. There's a number of Dunedain gathered in Fornos the Rain, the old ruins of Arnor's capital, and Elladan, Elrond's son, has it from personal reconnaissance that the Black Númenóreans and the orcs are moving in that direction. And so Elrond and Gandalf would have you travel to Fornos the Rhine and warn them, and hopefully ambush the enemy themselves and stop whatever threat may be targeting the heir of Elendil. For most of you, the idea that there is an heir of Elendil will be kind of a surprise. Isildur might already know, as he's lived amongst you.
I don't know. I mean,
I can't see anything in the scene, by the way, Lewis. So I don't know if there is anything supposed to be on the map.
Just a nice picture of Rivendell.
No, there isn't.
Oh, I've got a black screen.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
It's the one we had at the beginning of the last session where there's some elves hanging out.
Just chilling,
Yeah.
hanging out.
Would I have any idea who Elendil is?
There
I
you
mean,
go.
is this
You
all
should be able
gibberish
to.
to me?
To
Because
Robin
I can't
Burrows,
imagine Robin would have any idea who he
yeah,
is.
unless like Robin is like Bilbo and enjoys studying history and stuff, probably has no idea. You have a vague idea of these rough old rangers of the north who you occasionally see on the outskirts of the Shire. But as far as you're concerned, they're they're the type of people you don't really want to associate yourself with. Who knows what they get up to traveling out there in the wilds. And Robin, try a history check just to see if you have see that
History.
law.
Yeah, okay.
Ever know?
No.
Yeah. You have the vaguest idea of like Fornos. You don't even really remember what the hobbits of old called it. You know that the people of Bree call it Deadman's Dyke, and that's sort of the area that Elrond is showing you on a map that you need to travel to. And you're like, Fornos the Rain, what's that? Isildur's heir. The idea that there used to be kings of men and this Arnor or whatever he's talking about, Arthur Dane, and he keeps using words and names that you've never heard of before, basically.
That's right.
All
You're
you
in
know
Lord
is
of the Rings.
Elrond and Gandalf find this important and want you to do this thing, basically.
Yeah, I'm just kind of nodding, pretending I understand what the hell's going on, while making a mental note to ask Vidar later.
Yeah. Oh, I've wanted to go there for a long time. Fantastic ruins.
So many stones to rub.
Aye.
Let's see about dragging all those fancy magical items into your who's gonna take the Lantern of Lorien?
I bagsy that.
You should be able to see that now.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone has a pretty elven cloak. It looks like very thick wool, but it's also turns out to be surprisingly light and durable when you've got it on. And you almost don't notice it about your shoulders. And it's clasped together with an intricate jewel.
Yeah.
And it feels warm.
I have 2 elven cloaks,
Do you?
apparently.
That's good.
One for pulling over your knees when you sit down in the evening.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do when you don't have a beard. Though I think my chin is closer to my knees than yours, Mr. Elf.
I'm also going to take these.
Oh, this cloak looks right fancy, doesn't it?
Very handsome, Mr. Burrows.
Dabbing my mouth with the corner of it.
Delete one of the cloaks if you want.
It's already got chip grease on it somewhere, hasn't
I
it?
can do it.
Like the corners, like
Yeah. He's using the corner as a napkin.
Not easily
we'll
to the
do
chip
is-
grease of Lorien stain.
This cloak you've received now, Thildir, is better than the original one you had. So we'll
Yeah, the other one was a
get
thing.
rid of-
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
cool.
we'll get rid of that one and keep the new one.
Cool.
And then it does the same thing and a bit more. So yeah, with that, Gandalf and Elrond say, we would urge you to leave as swiftly as you can and travel there with every means of haste, as we know not the movements of the enemy since they passed from the site of what's his name again? Elendil. One of them two. One of Elrond's sons. Anyway, yeah. With that.
One of the twins.
Yeah, one of the twins.
Oh, wasn't it?
With that, you're set to the task of traveling to Fordosdarain, warning the rangers, and hopefully ambushing these hunters of Isildur's heir. Is there anything else you want to get out of the council before it ends?
No.
But hope.
I'm gonna run my
You're
song
right,
past
here tonight?
Tharkoon just before we leave.
Give me a song roll, or you can sing it.
I can't. I haven't written. I'm gonna write a song, but I haven't written it yet. So I'll make a song roll.
By the time you get to Fornost, you'll be able to sing it aloud.
We'll see.
Oh,
Yeah, it's deep and warm,
got a
lots of
catchy
rolling,
beat.
and yeah,
Yeah,
but it's got that marching kind of, you know.
a group of elves as you sing it. That is definitely most interesting. Pray, can you sing it again for us? And they ask you to perform it again, and then later on you notice it gets taken up in the songs that they perform in the Hall of Fire.
I'm honoured, but it's not normally in falsetto. It's normally in baritone, so it's not quite right.
But whenever you perform it henceforth now, you can add an extra d6 for having sort of worked on the song in Rivendell.
Cool, like it.
I would like to spill my guts to either Gandalf or Elrond about that point of shadow that I took from having a rough day.
Um,
To try and clear some of the shadow funk from my heart.
You get an extra point of shadow now.
You bloody well deserved it.
I always knew you'd be a problem, Gandalf says. Turns away and walks off now. You can roll in insight as Elrond and Gandalf share with you their long understanding of the influence of the shadow and how it seeps into the heart of people over time.
With a Gandalf on a roll with Gandalf.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'll
dog,
let you
I
get
heard you
rid
like
of that
Gandalf.
temporary point of shadow then.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else want to do anything?
I'm just going to ask if can we stay here the night, get a nice bit of kit before we hit the road.
I think that's generally Elrond's intention, that you should leave as early as possible with the coming of light of morning. But other than that, they have set aside beds and things for you, so you can clear all travel fatigue you've received up to this point, and you're sent away from the Hall of Fire, slightly enheartened, slightly worried about the task you've been set, into comfortable elven beds.
Can I have
As
a
the
cheery
night,
chat with Gandalf?
you can if you want.
Yeah, not
What do you
about
want to
anything.
accomplish with it?
I'm just trying to be friendly. Trying to
That's fine. You can just do that anyway. Gandalf likes you all. You've all been pretty good so far. No one's tried to withhold elven swords of endless sorrow and heirlooms of children of Fëanor under the curse of the kinslaying, but so, all is well as you drift off to sleep after talking to Gandalf and Elrond for a bit. But the morning approaches quickly, and it is time for you to set off on another dangerous venture into the darkest of wilds.
But that's how we
greatest
roll.
of dangers. And with that, we'll fade out for tonight. So there you go.
Very cool.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us at Garblag Games for the One Ring. And join us over at Discord and on Twitch, which you're probably watching us on now, but you might be watching us back on YouTube. Either way, come to the other one, the one you're not watching us now, and see more stuff by Garblag Games. Follow Garblag Games on Twitter, join the Discord, and talk to us all. Generally, see what Garblag Games is doing. And other than that,
Ben's got something.
All
Play my game.
Oh,
Play
yeah.
my game. Yes,
There you go.
I'm in a book. I put a little
We'll
thing
do-
up
yeah.
there. It says, "Hi everyone, I'm in a book. Go buy this book and play the Dark Hunters plot with your group." And there's a DM's Guild link there. Yes, Dark Reflections
Awesome.
is a book, 225 pages, 11 adventures, magic items, antagonists, NPCs, maps, and thrills, all to do with fairy tales from a slightly different perspective.
Very cool.
Awesome.
And my character
Yeah.
that I wrote definitely isn't Merida, because Disney still owned the rights to that one. However, loads of other fairy tale princesses that they don't own the rights to are in there.
Yay.
And check out the
There you
Patreon.
go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Check out
Loads of cool
Patreon.
stuff on there.
And what else are we doing on Garblag Games in the
Ooh.
week to come?
Tonight is Acting Cthulhu with the North American crew. They are Cthulhuing
Atlantis, Shadows of Atlantis.
Atlantis. Yeah, they're coming up on Atlantis. Tomorrow is the finale of Blades in the Dark.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Totally
the week.
not going to die.
That's the remainder of the week on Garblade. We're going into the mission badly off and wounded, so I'm sure it'll go fine.
At least none of you are currently imprisoned by the very people we're trying to. Yeah, just me and
Sounds
enough.
Sounds like it's going to be a mess, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's how.
And they
the
broke
Red
our
Ledgers
cyborg
roll.
monkey
Yep, again.
again.
The expensive one.
The expensive one, yeah.
Mm.
It's fine. It's only been a third of our treasure.
There you go. Other than that, yeah, we have been Garblag Games. Come join us and enjoy more Garblag Games. Thank you to everyone watching, and thank you to my wonderful players as usual who make it such a great game to play. So yeah, from us, good night.